It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Beeston Brewery and it's a bottle of the Squirrels Nuts, coming in at 3.5% ABV, described as a bottle conditioned ale. Black bottle cap on this one. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass then. I'm going to call this a mild. Maybe a nutty mild. Well, you can tell it's bottle conditioned. You can see all the little bits and pieces floating around in the glass. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I picked out the wrong glass from my cupboard. And I think this one's been, you can see, it's been sitting in that cupboard for a little while, this one. But I'm going to educate you guys. Some of you guys will probably know what's going on here. Some of you guys won't know what's going on here. What's going on here is that I got a really dirty glass. That is a really dirty glass. You can see the carbonation stuck to the side of the glass. It's clinging onto particles on the side of the glass that's causing the carbonation to be stuck to the side of the glass. So, naughty me for putting a really good beer, or I hope it's a really good beer, in a very dirty glass. Now we got a 2-finger, slightly off-white head, good levels of carbonation. As you can see, it's a darker, mild coloured ale. I'd like to thank our channel sponsors at this stage, beersofeurope.co.uk, for sponsoring today's video. Beers of Europe, the largest online beer store in the UK with a fantastic range of beer from all over the world, really. Check out the link in the description box of the video for beersofeurope.co.uk. Let's get the aroma on this dark chestnut coloured beer. It's got a typical British aroma, a typical British dark beer aroma to it. Spicy, peppery hops. A little bit of chocolate. A little bit of nuttiness maybe from them Squirrels nuts. It smells okay. Let's dive in. Cheers. And it's quite fruity as well. It's got like a plum and a fig and a prune back end. Off we go. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. I'm even going to say, I'm going to give this a Stone the Crows beer. For 3.5% ABV, I find beers under 4% ABV, they start to struggle in terms of body and depth and sometimes flavour. When you go below 4% ABV, you're not using that much malt. You're not using as much malt as you would need for a 4% or a 4.5% ABV beer. When you get to kind of 3.5 and 3, especially down to some of the 2.5% beers, they're really kind of, it's almost like a watery solution. What you get with this beer is that there's enough flavour from that darker malt, that roasted malt, maybe some of the nuts they've added to the beer. Have they actually added nuts to the beer, or have they just called it Squirrel Nuts? They've not mentioned that they've added nuts to the beer, so I'm going to say, I mean, for the expense of putting nuts in your beer, they would have put it on the label. But it's nicely hopped, traditional British hops, a plum, a fig, a prune, a spiciness, nice biscuit malt flavours. Yes, it's slightly thin, it is slightly thin. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't tend to, if I'm in a pub or in a bar, I don't really go for anything 3.5% ABV or below, unless it's a Berliner Weiss or something like that. A sour. Sours can really take, and sours are actually really nice at low ABV. They really kind of, that drinkability mixed with the sourness is perfect. But they've done enough. What I'm trying to say here is that Beeston Brewery have done enough with this beer, the Squirrels Nuts, added enough flavour in the beer to make it's a very nice beer. You can look at the sediment in the bottom of the glass. If you're new to craft beer, the sediment is the bottle fermentation process. The brewer will not filter the beer out. Some bottles will have more yeast than others, but generally every bottle will have a little bit of yeast at the bottom of the glass. That then naturally carbonates over maybe a few weeks. They release the bottles, it carries on carbonating. It's a natural way of carbonating your beer before forced carbonation took hold. So rating. I like this beer enough to give it, yeah, for 3.5%, it's really held its own. It's a really good, solid beer. It's a Stone the Crows 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.